right?
You need a pencil? To make your own house.
Well, thank you very much. Always prepared. Next team to present is Nevada.
What if we could rapidly curb the effects of pollution in an urban environment?
What if we could achieve this by increasing the amount of healthy vegetation?
What if there was a more efficient method of surveying vegetation than traditional means?
What if we could use a UAV to survey the city for plant health?
What if this could be done safely over the general public?
What if we could lower the cost for all stakeholders?
And what if it already exists?
The population of the United States is 320 million, and nearly 257 million of those people live in urban areas. A 2010 study found that soil and air from these environments had toxic elements, which pose a health hazard for all people living in these areas. As cities continue to grow, so do these concerns for environmental and public health.
In this year's challenge, a local government has decided to increase the amount of vegetation in order to curb the effects of pollution. The Rwdc were specifically tasked with designing an unmanned aerial system that could monitor the health of this vegetation to determine which plants require additional care. The city requires that the UAV is able to take off and land in a 3 meter by 3 meter area, operate beyond line of sight without GPS, as well as maintain 1 meter of obstacle avoidance of both stationary and moving obstacles. Additional requirements include developing an emergency plan, a concept of operations or CONOPS, and to abide by the FAA Part 107, except for those pre-approved waivers granted to the city. Given that operating an unmanned aerial system in an urban environment is currently unprecedented, the Rwdc acknowledged additional safety concerns not mentioned in this year's challenge.
As we work on this project, we use the engineering design process, which we are all familiar with, to guide us. Up here is illustrated the very engineering design process which we use. We went through several iterations at every step until we found the most effective and safe design for this year's challenge.
As we followed this project, we each found what role in the project we felt most comfortable with in mind. This was based on our strengths, weaknesses, and interests, as everyone took the lead on the section they felt most inclined to work on. This in turn allowed us to work effectively as a team, participate equally on the project at hand.
In collaborating with our mentors, it made us review every decision we had made up to that point, which helped us learn a lot of lessons along the way. As early on, we understood that we had to understand the problem before we could tackle the solution. This meant that before we could even think of bringing a UAV, we had to first define what the problem wanted. This helped us in eliminating UAV candidates, as the innovation for innovation's sake would not necessarily yield us the best solution. Furthermore, we avoided gimmicks completely. Principal Occam's razor. And finally, as one of our mentors best put it, don't reinvent the wheel.
We looked at many construction designs, but before that we looked at these pathways. We looked at safety and mission. To start off, we have to fix it. It's both impractical and unsafe for our design. This is due to its high speeds, making it difficult for us to loiter, and it gives us less reaction time to react to obstacles. Next, we have the light of an air and helicopter. Both are amazing for our mission. They can loiter. However, the light of an air is like a balloon. It is easily swayed by wind and is fragile. The helicopter, have you tried putting a propeller guard onto that? That's impractical. Now you have the hybrid. The hybrid can VTOL off a 3 by 3 meter platform. However, it has properties that the fixed wing has, which we don't want.
After reading all of the platform's pros and cons, the team decided that a quadcopter was the most optimal solution. Quadcopters have proven to be stable, can be optimal for surveying, and can take off and land on the designated 3 meter by 3 meter areas. The final four the team considered were the Nimbus, the Novel 2, the Phantom, and the Matrice RTK. However, upon further examination, the team found that the enterprise solutions to this year's challenge would be the Narwhal 2 and the Matrice RTK. The Narwhal 2 had great endurance. However, it had a limited payload capacity of 1 kilogram, and it had a used hydrogen fuel cell, which posed a high risk, and thus was easily dismissed over the Matrice RTK. The Matrice RTK is already used as an enterprise solution, equipped with a dual camera gimbal mount and obstacle avoidance. However, it is a product by DJI, and thus is proprietary, and would be costly to maintain and could not be modified.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Spectre. With adaptability in mind, we selected components that were ideal for obstacle avoidance and plant health data collection that made the mission safe, cost-effective, and efficient.
Starting with the configuration, we decided to choose an X frame as opposed to a plus frame because it offers 41% more rotational acceleration and torque. In addition, the position of the propeller arms ensure that the FPV camera, shown here, is not obstructed by the propeller arms.
Our UAV is constructed out of carbon fiber because it is 10 times stronger than steel while being 5 times lighter. But that simply isn't enough to mitigate any risk, which is why the landing gears are supposed to have aluminum and carbon fiber. Since the basic mechanical properties of carbon fiber demonstrate that it can bend under load while not being permanently deformed. And with that, we concluded that a band could provide a cushion for a hard landing, since the tensile strength of both carbon fiber and aluminum made it easier to adapt to the chassis without sacrificing structural integrity. On top of that, each propellers are outfitted with its own custom-made prop guards so as to minimize risk to the stakeholders and to the UAV itself. And with all that in mind, the Spectre all-up weight came up to be 8.4 kilograms, the bulk of which came from the battery, which was placed underneath the chassis, so as to balance the forces of the two force sensors. But since the Spectre is composed out of carbon fiber, which acts as an electrical insulator, it made it ideal to place the ESCs within the prop bars so as to minimize electrical risk to the UAV.
Now, in order for our UAV to actually take the pictures, it needs really good sensors. And for that, we have two. First, the Centera AGX 710, which provides high-quality, multispectral images that capture various aspects of plant health, such as water retention, overall vigor, biomass levels, and chlorophyll levels. And it does this using a variety of multispectral bands above. In addition, there's the SkyEye 38C, which provides high-quality optical images using its 30 times zoom lens. The picture on the right over there shows how you can be really far away from a plant and still see very close details of the leaves. And this is done to find any discrepancies in leaves that the multispectral camera cannot find. Accompanying this is the Fruity Shoots parachute, which will, with the Mars automatic trigger, which allows for safe and immediate landings in the event of an emergency that keeps people and property safe.
Safety is our #1 priority. That is why we equipped the Spectre with a plethora of obstacle avoidance components and algorithms. To start off, we have Flight Base. This program allows us to blanket the city with a geofence that prevents us from crossing a 2-meter threshold next to any stationary object. In addition, we have 4 sonar sensors, 2 in the front, 2 underneath, an IR sensor on the top, and a larger model on the bottom. This ensemble of components allows us to create a 3D environment for our UAV.
Additionally, all of these components work in tandem with NanoMap. It's an advanced rendition of simultaneous localization and mapping technology, or SLAM technology, developed by MIT. A NanoMap is an intelligent algorithm that considers the position of the drone over time and accounts for any potential uncertainties within its flight path. We also included the Ping 2020 ADSB module. The device periodically broadcasts the drone's position over time, enabling it to be tracked, and it prevents collisions with aircraft in the same airspace. We also evaluated our propulsion system using the program eCal. The propulsion system consists of the motor that we selected, the electronic speed controller, the battery, and the propellers. The propellers are 18 inches in diameter and have a pitch of 4.5 inches to achieve our thrust-to-weight ratio of 2.2, which exceeds the 2.1 thrust-to-weight ratio that is necessary for flight. And at all times during the mission, we will reserve 15% of our battery in order to return back to any designated takeoff and landing area within 15 minutes at any point in the city. We also consider the effects of drag and airspeed on our battery life, so we use the range estimator provided by eCal and determined that 5 meters per second was the most optimal speed to give us the most optimal range for our mission.
The brain of the Spectre consists of 2 components, the PIXOC 2.1 Plus Cube and the Pixie RTK GNSS module. The former is a flight controller containing an inertial measurement unit offering triple redundancy checks on features such as safety and position, as well as a flight management unit, putting the autonomous and semi-autonomous operation. In addition, the Pixie RTK GNSS module uses the drone's velocity, acceleration, and orientation in order to find its position at any point during the mission. It also utilizes GNSS, which is similar to GPS, and real-time kinematics in order to use the return to home functionality that is necessary for our mission.
We also selected these components to maintain communication with UAV operators in the ground station. The main component was securely and display screen with a transmission distance of 20 kilometers. We also chose Flight Cloud as our user interface, which is part of Flight Base, because of its compatibility with the selected flight controller, and so we can upload data onto the cloud in case any data stored on the SD cards is lost or incomplete. Lastly, we chose a Dell rugged laptop to be used at the ground station for various mission operations, and to be radios for all personnel to keep in contact with each other.
Our concept of operations revolves around the safety of all stakeholders. Thus, the pre-mission, mission, and post-mission, encompassing safety protocols such as go, no-go precautionary measures, and a robust communication procedures as provided in your handouts.
We will be submitting a plan to the city annually for approval and scheduling. Each mission will be taking place every 4 to 6 weeks so that we can take surveys twice per season. This provides actionable data that the city can use to help maintain plant health, and this data is collected from our cameras simultaneously, the AGX 710 and the Sky i30HC.
The Spectre is designed to become a forerunner for drone operations in an urban environment. Not only is the Spectre a legitimate contender in terms of industrial drones, but it also produces enough profit to keep stable operations throughout the year with or without complications.
The total cost of $131,000 falls well below the $200,000 budget established by this year's challenge. A 15% profit, another stipulation by this year's challenge, comes out to $17,000 for the ramjets and allows us to continue to operate in the city while still remaining profitable. Now, a majority of our cost is dedicated to personnel because our drone was constructed inexpensively. It doesn't mean it was cheaply made, but it has great value. So we dedicated a large portion of our budget to personnel to guarantee safe operations. Because pay is tied to hours instead of days, no-go operations do not pose a threat to our profitability or the mission. We also included the cost for an additional UAV in the event that our main UAV is inoperable.
Another crucial feature that comes with a custom-made UAS is adaptability. Most leading drone manufacturing companies such as DJI are proprietary, which force customers to buy particular components. But the Spectre was intentionally designed to be configurable for any situation. The 2 cameras on the gimbal mount can be removed and replaced with any non-proprietary components for any mission.
A substantial difference makes it most beneficial for the city to invest in our UAS. The UAS is just simply more efficient than traditional methods of surveying plant health. Traditional methods would call for a team of highly specialized individuals that would be hired full-time, costing around $281,000 and would include a data analyst, agricultural inspector, and botanist. Whereas our contract workers would only cost $131,000 for the year, doing a collect time of 3 hours 8 times a year. UAS is also beneficial to the city because it minimizes safety risks. Areas like the rooftop garden, walled road, and median roads would be much too dangerous to survey using traditional methods. UAS mitigates this issue because it is more maneuverable and because it leaves the personnel out of harm's way.
Yes, the real-world design challenge is just that, a competition. And yes, we unfortunately were not able to replicate the Spectre in its entirety given our real-life budget of $0. With that in mind, however, while consulting with our mentors, with many of them coming from reputable fields like General Atomics, the United States Air Force, and the Royal Air Force, we treated this project as a legitimate request for proposal, given that their experiences are very relevant to what we have to do here at Rwdc. Our goal was not to simply design a UAS that won an academic challenge. Our goal was to create a replicable and, most importantly, safe UAS so that drone manufacturers could do the same in the real world. While working with our business mentor, Tyson, who actively flies his DJI Mavic to map out various locations around the Las Vegas area, which was very similar to this year's challenge, we realized the impact that our drone can have on our local community. After putting in 9 months worth of our passion for drones into this project, we can firmly say that the Spectre UAS does in fact help in decreasing the effects of pollution in an urban environment.
It does achieve this by providing health insights to increase the amount of healthy vegetation.
It does provide a more efficient method of surveying vegetation than traditional means.
It does survey the city for plant health.
It does do so safely over the general public.
It does lower the cost for all stakeholders.
And it does. Most importantly, it exists right here, right now.
Thank you.